For about $3 in 2002, you could buy a pack of animal-shaped plates and eat your midday meal on, but not limited to, Ernesto the alligator, Puddles the duck, Speckles the ladybug, Curly the pig, Fritz the frog, Cosmo the cow, Baloo the whale, and Tina the tiger. Of course, I am talking about the often imitated, never duplicated Zoopals owned by Hefty. When Zoopals first hit shelves, there were over 50 different plates in circulation, some being more rare than the next. Shortly after, the official website launched. Here, you can meet the 50-plus pals, learn their names, interests, hobbies, and dislikes. Additionally, you can play tic-tac-toe, mismatch and memory games, complete puzzles, colors, or read stories written by fans. Also on the site was the official Zoopals Collector's Checklist. Piggybacking off the popularity of Zoopals were Sports Pals released in 2003. Each pack sported 20 plates for basketball, football, soccer, tennis, winter and summer sports, dad sports, cycling sports, and boxing. If you look closely at the boxing plate, you'll see that there's a nasty bruise on it, and that's because this line was aimed towards older kids. Merry Pals, hitting shelves later that same year, were holiday-themed plates that were mildly creepy to be eating off of. There were 10 plates, 2 Santa Claus, 2 elves, a Miss Claus, an angel, a reindeer, a snowman, and a tree. These would be the only holiday-themed plates in the Hefty Pals collection. At Zoopal History, the Zoopal Oracle made a timeline organizing the following releases, so I'll be using this, plus adding the information I could find, so big shout out to them. The next installment to the Hefty Pal line would be Zoopal Fun Slider Bags. What made these bags so fun, you ask? Were the bags animal-shaped? No. It was the sticker sheet that came with the red boxes. Also, this would be the year Zoopals became available in Mexico and Canada. Spinning off Zoopal plates were Zoopal bowls released in 2004. They didn't have compartments or anything, just the face of the animal. Zoopal babies were limited edition plates with baby animals on them. Despite the babies on the plates, I do not think they were intended for actual babies. Zoopal cups and fun utensils were released around the same time. The cups were paper cups that would fold and create wings, ears, or fins. Fun utensils were animal-shaped utensils, and they sold in 24 packs. Zoopals would also release a collector's checklist for these as well. Nothing major would happen in 2007 besides a couple of minor redesigns. In 2008, Zoopals would collaborate with Arthur, and unlike other PAL collections that would release 16 to 24 different plates, these only offered 4, which in my opinion makes no sense since they had an entire full set of characters to choose from, but that may have been the set number given by PBS. Speaking of PBS, Zoopals became a proud sponsor of the show. In 2010, Hefty finally hopped on the idea of reusable Zoopals. However, I think they missed the mark with these. These weren't the normal colorful paper plates turned plastic. Instead, they were semi-transparent plates. I think they're still kind of cute and they kind of matched the animal to the color the best they could, but I think if they were colorful like the paper plates, they would have been better received since to my knowledge, these were pulled quite quickly. From this point forward, Zoopals began releasing special collection packs that sold plates, cups, and sometimes bowls belonging to specific biomes. The Ocean Collection, released in mid-2010, would be the first of these. The collection consisted of Seymour the Bluefish, Walter the Walrus, Sandy the Crab, Shelley the Turtle, Baloo the Whale, Finnegan the Dolphin, and Tux the Penguin. The Farm Collection, released later the same year, had Randy the Rooster, Gallop the Pony, Curly the Pig, Puddles the Duck, Domino the Dalmatian, Cosmo the Cow, and Speckles the Ladybug. The Safari Collection included Tina the Tiger, Orangutan, Alligator, Cobra, Alex the Lion, Zahara the Giraffe, Elephant, and Zigzag the Zebra. The final collection, the Rainforest Collection, had Luca the Monkey, Reggie the Tree Frog, Bella the Butterfly, Terry the Tiger, Iggy the Iguana, Margot the Parrot, Lara the Scarlet King Snake, Gabe the Gorilla, Benny the Butterfly, and Sammy the Sloth. With Zoopals being such a popular brand that sparked a bunch of spin-offs and collections, it was only a matter of time till the copycats began to arise, starting with the most shameful. While Zoopals makes eating fun, Dixie Crazy Critters makes meal times fun. According to the Zoopal Oracle, Dixie Critters were released sometime in 2003. This was the plate equivalent of those knockoff DVDs you find in the Walmart bargain bins. The plates not only had the same concept, but they also sold cups, utensils, and even had sports-themed plates. Not a line though, since they just crammed these into the Crazy Critter packages. They also made an entire website to compete with Zoopals. The funniest thing about Dixie Crazy Critters is the fact that they were so loud and proud with the bootleggedness. They proudly flashed decoder's names and facts like Hefty did with Zoopals, and while they didn't have commercials, they did have this float parading around their products from 2004 to 2005. Despite their efforts, these would be pulled off shelves in the mid-2000s. At first, I thought the brand went with the float in 2005, however, I found articles still advertising the plates up until 2007. Mind you, Dixie already had a Zoo Friends line since the 90s, so they had a nearly decade head start to come up with animal-shaped plates and fumbled. Angel Mine is a baby brand produced by Greenbrier International Inc. and sold throughout Dollar Trees. I wanted to confirm that these plates were released after Zoopals before I accused them of plagiarism, and I found one trademark from 1996. For a split second, I thought it was Zoopals that had stolen an idea. However, I then realized that this trademark was abandoned in 1997, and it was for dolls. The second trademark I found was filed in 2007, and that was for baby products under Greenbrier International Inc. And if you remember, Zoopals Babies released in 2005. At least Angel Mine let Zoopals Baby breathe before hopping on the trend. They also had animal-shaped baby food containers and animal-shaped utensils, which is typical for baby brand. I just wanted to add that in for dramatic effect. While you can still buy products from this brand, I believe the plates are discontinued since the only way to buy them is through resale sites. Honestly, I don't think they look the same. I just thought it was kind of funny that these came out around the same time as Zoopals Babies. Many speculate that knockoffs contributed to the demise of Zoopals in 06/07. However, the website and Oracle state that they were pulled from shelves in 2014, with the website shutting down 2 years later. And as previously mentioned, both the knockoffs were discontinued while Zoopals was still in production. Regardless of differing dates of discontinuation, the reason as to why Zoopals were pulled is unclear. Most speculate dwindling popularity, which is a good theory, as many fads from the early 2000s lost their spark as they entered the 2010s. However, they were releasing multiple collections around that time, but that may have been a last-ditch effort to bring freshness to the brand. I actually found a PowerPoint regarding the state of Zoopals in 2012, and while this does look legit and the sources are in fact real, since I can't find the original author of the PowerPoint, let's take the information with a grain of salt. According to the PowerPoint, Zoopals were the #1 brand in kids' tableware, had an increase in television reach, and in 2012, Zoopals programming was in good standing. So, according to the information at hand, it seems that Zoopals were doing fine 2 years before being discontinued. Which brings us to the next theory, corporate monkey business. In 2010, Hefty's producers, Pactiv, was sold from Mobile to Reynolds Consumer Products. The higher-ups of Reynolds maybe saw Zoopals as a brand making money, but not at the rate and pace in which they wanted, and decided to start phasing out the brand in 2012, ultimately shelving it in 2014. Regardless of the reason, the announcement of the end of Zoopals sent shockwaves throughout the Zoopal community. After 2014, fans began digging for any information they could find. This spawned the Zoopals Wiki, a beacon of Zoopals lore. Additionally, the Oracle made an iceberg of the information they found plus stuff on the wiki, so I'll go over some of the more rare stuff discovered. On Twitter, if you search @ZoopalsArthur, you'll find an account solely based for the Arthur Zoopals. They take good care of them, they get snacks, playdates with SpongeBob and Toon Link, switch time, and get adequate sleep. On Japanese Mercari, you'll be able to buy Zoopals for cheap. Why? I don't know. I wanted to get to the bottom of this and searched on Google. I found more listings for Zoopals and these advertisement type photos. I also found blog posts all spanning from 2010 to 2012. One from 2010 stating she finds them in variety stores and plazas. I snooped around and found out that the blog owner does indeed live in Japan. So this is proof that Zoopals were/are being sold in Japan. However, not officially through store chains. I found 2 blogs, one blog for resale shop Bisbee located in Yokohama Kanagawa Prefecture. The second was Standard Bookstore in Osaka's Tenjidoku Ward. So I concluded that resellers are the ones distributing Zoopals throughout Japan. I wasn't able to find out how these resellers are getting these surplus amounts of Zoopals sent from the US to Japan to resell. However, I did kind of solve the mystery of the cheap Zoopals on Japanese Mercari. Zoopals released 4 commercials, 2 for Zoopals, 1 for Zoopals Babies, and a 2012 commercial, Do to Dip. It's a parody of a song that I cannot play, and I'm assuming it wasn't aired as much as the other 3. This wasn't on the iceberg, but since we were talking about commercials, I thought I would add it here. An animatic is a sequence of photos or sketches used to show how a piece of media will look once fully animated. In 2011, Animatic Pro uploaded Zookeeper Zoopals 2D Animatica, a 30-second video with the Muppet-like character singing around a zoo of pals. If this were to be released, I think it would have been around the time as Do to Dip. They probably didn't choose this one because people found this creepy. I, for one, think it would have been cute, fully animated. Inky the Octopus was one of the 2004 retired Zoopals. However, Inky was revived as a fun tinsel in 2006. Inky is the only Zoopal to be retired, then brought back. Merino Propriety Limited is an Australian plastic and paper company. The Merino version of the site was launched for the Australian and New Zealand release for Zoopals. On the Merino version of the site were advertisements for the Down Under collection. While Zoopals were eventually sold in Australia and New Zealand in the mid-2000s, there isn't actual confirmation that this collection was sold. Something that wasn't on the iceberg is the leopard and lobster Zoopals that were intended for this collection. The Wayback Machine unfortunately doesn't include pictures for these plates, so we don't know what they look like. However, it's speculated that the crab and cheetah plates are being used interchangeably. I think the extinction refers to Zoopals being discontinued, and if that's correct, it's all the way at the bottom because it's not actually that known that they went extinct in 2014. Another use for Zoopals was for crafts and games. I didn't know about this until researching for this video. My parents wouldn't buy a pack of Zoopals so we could cut them out into masks, so. This wasn't on the iceberg, but I wanted to include that there may have been merch for Hefty Pals at one point, since you can find pins on resale sites. The alligator is Ernesto. The OG Ernesto and the safari pack are different. I'm guessing the design can be considered not safe for work, hence the warning. Over the years, over 80,000 people petitioned for Hefty to bring back Zoopals. Across social media, fans would reminisce, create dupes, sell merch, and ultimately keep the plate's memory alive. However, these garnered no response, and it was back to Hefty being as quiet as a mouse. Until January of 2023, when the Oracle noticed that Hefty had filed a trademark for Zoopals in mid-January. However, the Oracle didn't chalk this up to anything. Just when the Zoopal community was finally at the 7th stage of grief, after nearly a decade of radio silence, in August of 2023, Hefty announced that they were bringing back Zoopals. At first, they were only available online through Amazon and Target and sold out almost immediately. The demand was so high that they eventually started selling them in stores and even bring back the mini displays. In August of 2024, Hefty held a giveaway for a meal kit. The kit included plates, cups, coasters, and sandwich cutters, and hopefully they start selling the coasters soon because those are so cute. Currently, you can find Cosmo the cow, Curly the pig, Puddles the duck, Speckles the ladybug, Baloo the whale, Fritz the frog, Tina the tiger, Domino the Dalmatian, Shelly the turtle, and Theo the bear in packs of 15 to 20. In the spring of 2025, they brought back and updated the cups, and in March of 2026, they brought back and updated the bags. As of today, Hefty has not released any commercials for Zoopals. Honestly, I don't think they need to make any new ones. They can just have the old version play from time to time like the old Tootsie Pop commercial. Since they already tried a reusable line, I think it'd be cool if they would try out ceramic or reusable plates that look like the paper Zoopals. I feel like if enough fans requested it, they may at least play with the idea since Zoopals was always encouraging fan feedback. And I don't want to tell all of their business, but they did give the Oracle a goodie box, which I thought was very nice of them. And that was the rise, fall, and resurgence of Zoopals. I, for one, am happy that Zoopals have returned. I remember begging my dad to buy some of these and eating weekend lunches on them with my brothers. I know they're paper plates, but I'm happy more kids are able to make memories with them like I did. This was very fun and kind of difficult to make since there's not a lot of information about Zoopals online, so shout out to Zoopals History and the Zoopals Wiki for making this video easier to make. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a great day.